Welcome back to the channel. Today you find me trying out something a wee bit different. In a new location out on my wee trusty Classic 350. I thought I would take it out today and just talk a wee bit more about this bike. I've had her for 10 months now and she's done about 3,300 miles. And in that time, what's been my experiences of it? Any problems we've had with the bike? I can assure you, absolutely none. The bike has been perfect from day one. It's been back to the dealers once since I bought it, purely for its first 300 mile service, and it's never been back. I serviced it myself at 3,000 miles, and which was easy. So yeah, from purchasing this bike to getting to where I am now 10 months later, I am absolutely delighted with it. It's a fantastic little bike. Some people might be worried about home servicing and trying to keep the warranty up to date. Personally, I'm not too bothered. It's quite a cheap bike to buy in the first place. I'm quite a capable DIYer. I've worked on many of my own bikes over the many years. So I don't see any particular issues that should arise with it that I can't repair myself. So personally, I'm not bothered about a warranty. But that's me. We're all different. Plus, I hate the hassle of actually having to go to the dealers and all the time it takes as well. So I save time, I save money, and I do the job myself. What have I done to my bike since I got it? Probably the one, from as far as the channel is concerned, the most controversial issue is the exhaust system. Yes, it's correct. I have removed the Hitchcock's free-flowing exhaust system and I've reverted back to the standard exhaust system. I've also removed the Fuel X Lite, which I had on it as well, which I only put on to make sure that any fueling issues were looked after due to the Hitchcock's exhaust being on it. I've also removed the 16-tooth gearbox sprocket, that's off it as well. So why did I remove the free flow exhaust? Bearing in mind, this is the most viewed videos on the channel, having had over 28,000 views to date. The Fuel X has had over 12,000 views and the gearbox sprocket over 14,000 views. Well, why did I remove the exhaust? There was nothing wrong with it at all. It was perfect. I had no issues whatsoever. I would say potentially it did show a slight increase in power, but you're never going to get much more power from a 22 brake horsepower engine anyway. So any increase is marginal. With regards to the air filter, people ask if I've had a DNA filter in this one, but no, I've never done that. The air filter is still the standard original Royal Enfield item. As far as I'm concerned, it works perfectly. Having a DNA filter in, yeah, it might make it breathe slightly better. I think all it really gives is the impression of that, because it makes a lot more induction noise from the bike. So you might ask, should I delete those videos from the channel? Well, I don't think so, because there's a lot of people view it. There's a lot of people still wish to do these modifications, and it still shows you how to do them. And there's nothing wrong with the modifications. It's just that I removed mine purely from the point of view of the noise of the exhaust. I found it personally just a wee bit too loud. I absolutely love the character of this bike with the standard exhaust, the way it performs. It's just so quiet, it's such a lovely machine. So I have no regrets about putting it back to standard, but we're all different. They're our bikes, and then it's good to tinker and play with them. So what else have I done to my bike since I got it? Yeah, the windscreen. Yeah, at the moment, yes, you see it doesn't have a windscreen on it. It's actually, I prefer riding it without the windscreen. I think it's much cleaner, the cleaner airflow through it as well, because you do get a wee bit of kind of wind noise and kind of turbulence a wee bit from the screen. It's not the best screen in the world, but it's okay. But I like using it in like through the autumn and the winter months when it gives you a bit more protection from the cold and the rain. But it's much nicer and cleaner without it when you get a nice clear airflow. Another couple of great bits I'm really happy with is the bar end mirrors. I think they are absolutely superb. They're so crystal clear. They never vibrate. They're just in the viewing angle is perfect. I think they're superb, and I think they suit the bike. Also, the span adjustable levers I put on the clutch and brake lever. I absolutely love these as well. I find these levers perfect for my small hands. They're absolutely brilliant. I find they get so much better control with them. So yeah, another item that I think is a fantastic modification. And to me, from a riding perspective, another modification which I think is the best is the heel and toe gear lever. Some people find that controversial, think, oh, I don't really fancy that at all. But personally, I find it works great. I absolutely love it. I've always found that it was quite an awkward gear lever, even moving up one notch as many people do. But I personally, I just love that one. The wee side box is another item that I put on, which sometimes I prefer it without it. I prefer the clean lines of the bike. But equally, when I usually go away for the day, and it's nice to be able to have somewhere you can stick another pair of gloves or some waterproofs. I often carry a wee 12-volt tyre pump and a puncture repair kit with me as well. So if I get a puncture at the side of the road, I can potentially repair it. So yeah, I like the wee box. I don't think, some people put one on the other side as well. Personally don't think I need that, so I'm quite happy with the one on one side. Plus I think it looks quite funky just having it on one side. I did modify the seat pad for the rear seat. I took the seat pad off the mounting frame and I put a GV mounting plate on that. So when I go away, maybe if I want to stay away overnight somewhere or whatever and I need more luggage carrying capacity, it's an easy job just to bolt that on and use a top box from my other bike, and yeah, it's perfect. Another bit I really like is the low riding seat. I never really liked the standard seat. I always felt too soft and squidgy, and you always seem to sit on top of the bike, whereas this seat, I think it kind of lowers it down quite nicely, and you sit more in the bike itself. It's harder, and you would think that would be uncomfortable. Seats are subjective, isn't it? I mean, some people find seats comfortable, others find them incredibly uncomfortable. I mean, I can take this bike, I can ride this bike all day long, and you start to squirm a bit by the end of the day. It gets a wee bit hard, but every bike's like that. And I like the seat springs because they tend to finish off, although they do absolutely nothing. They don't give the seat any springing whatsoever. They're just purely there for show. But I did a video of how I mounted them, because the one from Royal Enfield was absolutely, the mounting instructions were terrible. You got to remove all the back mudguard and everything to get it off. It was a pain in the backside. So that's proved quite popular, and I think a lot of people throughout the world are now adopting something similar to what I devised on my video. What else have I done to the bike? Yeah, I put some wee camera mounts on for when I'm out videoing. Sat-nav mount, because I go a lot of funny places, and I need satellite navigation sometimes, so I click my TomTom onto that. The wee one below that is tyre pressure monitoring. This is another contentious issue with the bike, because yeah, I've done away with the wire wheels. I've still got them, but I bought alloys. I saw them on Hitchcock's website, and they were quite expensive, and I thought I could get them quite cheap from India. But then it's at MotoGB, I think they were the authorised spares dealer for Royal Enfield, and they were obviously, that's been all changing, so they've been selling their stock off. So I managed to pick up a set of alloys really cheap from them. And the idea being behind that was I can run tubeless tyres and I can use tyre pressure monitoring. Because to me, the worst thing that can happen is when you're out is getting a puncture, you're stuck. You can't repair a tube at the side of the road. It's not practical to take the wheels off and try and replace a tube, as far as I'm concerned anyway. And then you have to wait hours for recovery. It's just such a pain for a job. that can be fixed in a few moments and you can be back up again and running. I put a wee power 12-volt socket on the side here. I drilled a hole in the side of the cover and put it in. And putting it up at that angle, it actually worked quite well because there's actually a cutaway in the back plastic mounting box, so it goes in really quite easily. If it's further down, it probably wouldn't fit, but it fits great there. And I use it in the garage if I'm plugging a battery charger in, it just goes straight in there and that charge keeps the battery up to my charger plugged in overnight. I can plug in the 12-volt compressor and I run the compressor off of that. And in the colder weather, I've got some heated gear as well, so I plug my Kais heated clothing into that and it provides power for that. So that's a really useful wee plug and easy to get to. So that's pretty much the wee bike. What's the ownership experience been like for it? Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's been absolutely brilliant. The bike is comfortable, it handles well, the brakes are good in it, definitely good enough for the performance it has. It's an absolute joy to ride. It's absolutely beautiful. And having only 20 horsepower, you know, it changes your mindset in how you ride. You just potter along. You can take in the scenery. Once you get this into the mindset, you'll find it such a fantastic, fantastic bike to ride. Anyway, I think that's about all I can really say about the bike at the moment. I thought I would just put this video out and kind of clarify bits about why I've changed the exhaust, because I've had a lot of people commenting on why have you taken it off. Well, it's me, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just because I really, really like the bike, the way it came out of the factory from the exhaust point of view. It's because it just performs just so nicely. I hope you enjoy watching the channel, I hope you get something from it. I hope some of the things I've done to mine encourage you to tinker a bit more with yours. So for now, I'll sign off. Take care, ride safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now. What a great little road this is. It's absolutely brilliant. It's my secret place, which is only a few miles from where I live.